So I think it's safe to say that the old sexist cliche of hell has no fury like a woman scorned pretty much sums this movie up. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So tonight we are talking about a movie that I was just dying to sit down and watch called Hunter x Hunter. It did not disappoint. I might get into some spoilers, so if you don't want to listen to me talk about them, I'm going to try my best. I'm just going to try and talk about stuff that you can see in the trailer. But I'm going to give this, if you want my rating and then go watch it and then come back, to give it a rating, I'm probably going to give this movie a really strong, probably a 7, 7.5. I really did like this movie. Yeah, it has some things you can nitpick about it. And I honestly believe, all right, the whole story aside, I honestly believe that when Sean Linden, who is the writer and director, sat down to write this movie, he started with the ending first. And then he, he goes, how can we build a story around this ending? Okay. Man, oh man, what an ending it is. I'll tell you, Jesus, I loved it because he didn't hold back, and he pushed it not once, but I think 3 times right in our face. And it's a lasting, fucking 5 minutes of this movie that you won't forget for a while. So it was good. It was really, really good. Let's get into the synopsis here. Joseph and his family live in the remote wilderness as fur trappers, but their tranquility is threatened when they think they are being hunted by the return of a rogue wolf, and Joseph leaves them behind to track it. Okay, so basically that's what this story revolves around, is this family living in the woods. Now, they don't actually give a time period when this takes place, but so this family has pretty much given up everything kind of modern, right? They live in the woods in Joseph's family, it's old cabin. They don't even, I really think, say where the forest is located. But either way, from what I saw in the movie, the newest piece of technology they have are walkie-talkies that they use to communicate with when they go out, hunting and stuff. And that's it. Everything else is like fucking either made or it's just old school. And as far as the time period goes, when we get introduced to Lou, who is played by Nick Stahl, he has a Walkman. Okay, so I'm going to say that this movie, maybe in the 90s, were Walkmans around in the 90s? I'm not sure. But anyways, it's not modern day, that's for sure. So anyways, Anne is played by Camille Sullivan. She is fucking awesome. Summer H. Howell plays their daughter Renee. And then Devon Sawa plays Joseph. I'll tell you, man, when he first comes on the screen, okay, as soon as you see him, I was thinking to myself, who the fuck is this guy? I know his face, but he's a little bit older. He's very chiseled. His character is very hardened. He's just this badass trapper type guy. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is this guy? Well, when I looked him up, okay, he is the kid that is on the main poster of Final Destination, and he was also the main character in Idle Hands. And I was like, what? That goofball? You know what I mean? Like, I haven't followed his acting career, but I mean, most notably, the 2 characters that I remember him from are from Idle Hands and Final Destination, where he's this kind of bumbling, stumbling, bozo of a character. He's not obviously like that in person, but man, I'll tell you, his character in this movie is totally fucking different. Okay, like he's a male badass, I guess, if that's what you want to fucking call it. And that's whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And I'll get into that in a minute too, because like I said at the beginning of this review, and again, this might be a little bit spoilerish, but I mean, this movie more or less is the focus of Anne, at least in my opinion, especially the lead up. Because Joseph's character, and we find out this in the first act, that Anne, they live in this remote cabin, and she really doesn't want to fucking be there anymore. She wants to move into the city again. She said that she gave it all up because of him, because that's what he wanted to do, and that's what they've been doing for, their daughter, I believe, is 13, so at least 13 years, because she's never been to school. She didn't even know what personal identification is when it comes up near the end there. she has no idea. She's homeschooled. She's just, you know, her dad's teaching her to be this badass trapper and all this sort of stuff. But Anne doesn't want to be there. But the conversation that her and Joseph have, the ongoing, it's kind of a little bit of an argument, but you can find out Joseph is very set in his ways, you know, and almost to the point of being selfish, that they have to fucking stay there because that's what he wants to do, and they don't give up on stuff. And hey, whatever. It all goes into the movie, right? But then the ending too, because it takes place with another male, and then, like, I don't want to give the ending away, okay? But you'll see exactly what I mean about, you know, built up frustrations and just rage and just fucking losing it, okay? But that's all I can say about that. But basically, yeah, this movie, first act, we learn about this family, kind of a little bit about their history. Anne doesn't really want to live there anymore. She kind of wants to move back to the city, you know, that, and then also there's this rogue wolf that comes into the picture that we learn about in the trailer. So they need to kill this thing, okay? Because it's, you know, they make it out to be like it's hungry, and even their food supply is lacking because it wasn't a very good year for them. Winter's coming. You know, but again, pride of Joseph, he doesn't want to ask for help. So, you know, but he does go out and he does, you know, try and track this wolf to kill it so that his family is safe. And again, this is a spoiler, I guess, but it's in the trailer. He stumbles upon this crime scene where this serial killer has been bringing out these women and leaving them in this remote wilderness. They don't really get into too much, which I'm kind of glad that they didn't, as to what he does to these women, but there is a lawn chair there. So I'm assuming he probably, you know, sexually assaults them first and then kills them or leaves them there to die. And he's been doing this for a long time, you can tell, because there's all types of bodies from, you know, almost down to the bone corpses, and then like just people who have been there probably just like a week ago, sort of thing. And how he gets onto this is when he's hunting this wolf, he does find it and he shoots it, but he doesn't kill it, so it gets away, but it drops what's in its mouth. And this is in the trailer as well, but it's an arm, okay? The wolf has ripped off someone's arm, and this leads them to find these X's on these trees, which takes him in to the woods that he already knows. But again, you know, this serial killer doesn't know probably where he's going, so he's X'd out these trees so he can get in and out properly. And then he comes upon this crime scene. So he doesn't tell his wife, right? And he just sets these traps up around this crime scene, hoping to kill this serial killer and then move on, you know, I'm assuming taking care of the bodies themselves. But yeah, and then so he sets out, says he's going to go hunt the wolf, when in fact he's going to go hunt this serial killer. Or it may not be a serial killer. We don't know, right? Because a lot of people go into this movie thinking it's a werewolf movie. And I don't want to say whether it is or isn't, or what's bringing these women in, but I probably already let that one out of the bag. But anyways, listen, I told you I was going to get into the spoilers. This movie is fucking fantastic, okay? I don't want to get into it too much into the third act. It's just something you need to watch and let it unfold in front of you. It's probably not going to be what you think it is. And for me anyways, I didn't know what to expect, okay? There is a confrontation with the wolf in this movie. You know what I mean? And it's like right up to the very end almost. And this is going to be, this is going to be a spoiler because I want to say this, okay? So if you don't want to hear even more spoilers than I've already said, plug your ears. I'll put my hand down in a minute, okay? But if you've watched this movie, okay, in my opinion anyways, Nick Stahl's character, right up to the very end, especially with the wounds he had and stuff, I thought maybe not like in a true werewolf sense, but he transformed into this wolf, because they do go out of their way to show the full moon as well. So I was thinking he was going to transform and then they were going to have a battle in the cabin. But, you know, if you've seen this movie, you know what the fuck happens. And if you haven't, go watch it. Okay, I'm going to put my hand down now. So, yeah, so that, even up to the ending, I was still guessing as to how this was going to end. So, anyways, okay, I've probably said too much. I did give you guys lots of warnings. I was going to get into a few spoilers. Listen, this movie is fucking really, really good, okay? I loved it. I'm going to give it a really strong 7, maybe even a weak 7.5. It was something I didn't see coming. There are predictable parts in this, but like I just said with my spoiler hand up, you know, it does kind of keep you guessing as to what's going to happen at the very, very end. Yeah, some people, you know, will be like, oh no, I guessed what the ending was and blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's cool. I do it all the time. You know what I mean? But for me, I didn't know which way it was going to go, but I was super happy with how this fucking ended. And I loved the fact that, you know, Sean Linden didn't hold back on showing the ending the way it should be, not just, you know, use your imagination. No, he puts it right in your face multiple times, and you let that burn into your fucking your skull. So anyways, guys, Hunter x Hunter, I highly, highly recommend this movie. Okay, it may not be what some of you are wanting, but if you just want a fucking fairly decent movie to watch on a fucking, you know, weekend afternoon or whatever, this is definitely the one for you. So anyways, Hunter x Hunter, if you've seen it, let me know what you think. If you haven't, please definitely go fucking rent this movie, watch it, and then come back here and give me your thoughts, guys. Now, as always, until next time, stay scared.